Hello, this is the RPG Pundit, the final boss in Internet Shitlords. And holy crap, where do I even start with this story? There's just so much to unpack here that I don't know how I can even explain it. Alright, so let me think about this. Basically, okay, D&D endorsed a new Critical Role type reality live stream show, right? And this one is called The Stuff of Legends, okay? And you know, this is the first thing I heard. I'm going to give everything to you here in the order in which I learned things, okay? So this new show, it's called The Stuff of Legends, and what it is, it's like Critical Role, except that at the same time, the things that are happening to the characters are being filmed out with Muppets. Or, well, I guess they would say puppets for copyright reasons. But they look, you know, they look like fucking, like the Fraggle Rock Muppets, you know, like they look like that, right? They're that sort of style. And so they have the Muppets acting out the things that happen to the characters in the adventure, right? As if, I thought, okay, well, that's okay. That's a decent story. I thought I'd sit on it for a couple of days, right? Because I was like, well, you know, I just did a video. I did a video like 2 days ago about, you know, Star Adventure, granted. You know, I was just doing a flip-through video. You should check that out if you haven't. But you know, it felt like I could wait another day or two, you know. But I, you know, there is something to be argued there because you show this is proof that what these sort of Critical Role type shows are is not, you know, this isn't a D&D game being filmed. What they want you to believe is that this is a normal game of D&D that is being filmed, and you get to see these people playing D&D exactly the way that they would play at home, you know, totally normal. That's not what this is, and we know that's not what this is. If you want to see what a normal game, a normal RPG game is, then go to like Bill the Elf's YouTube channel, and you'll see there the audios, or you'll be able to hear there, I guess, the audios of all of my recent DCC sessions, right? Because Billy Elf's one of my players there, so he's been filming them, and you can hear the audio, and that's what a normal RPG, well, you know, I'd say maybe a slightly above average RPG being run sounds like, right? Go to Profanarchy's YouTube page and check out his group. He's got a DCC group, and you know, that there you will see what that sounds like and looks like. And it is, you know, you probably won't want to, most people will not be too into listening to that. I will grant you. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised how many fans Bill the Elf's uploads of our sessions actually has, because listening to other people's RPG sessions is generally not all that exciting. Maybe because I'm a little bit better of a DM than maybe some other people would be, I make it a tiny bit more interesting, maybe because the group is so funny. The group has been around, it's been together for 8 years. It's a funny group. We have crazy stuff that happens. So we know, you know, it's like Top Gear, I guess you'd say. You know, like these guys have been around forever with each other, and at this point they have this synergy that is very difficult to fake, right? So maybe that's why. But on the whole, an average game of normal, actual, real D&D is boring. What these people do in things like Critical Role and this new Stuff of Legends is not that. It's improv acting. It's pre-scripted, and in one case, it's done with puppets. You know, to kind of add to the this is a TV show you're watching flavor of it. And yet they still keep trying to claim rather. That this isn't, you know, they don't want to admit it. They keep trying to claim that this is just plain old D&D. These are people playing D&D just like everyone else. And that's bullshit. Matt Mercer is not a good DM of D&D. I've never seen him DM D&D. He's DM'd his reality TV show, right? These guys doing this show, that's not real stuff, right? But hang on, because I've been telling you stuff that you already know. This is where things go absolutely off the rails, right? Like, that would have been my video pretty much right there, right? I would have stopped at that and said, yeah, well, you know, this Stuff of Legends is really stupid. D&D is stupid for promoting it and what have you, right? But then it turns out that a whole bunch of SJWs have gotten really mad at Dungeons and Dragons and at Stuff of Legends. They are outraged. They're demanding action. They're condemning D&D. Because one of the Muppets in question is a female Muppet with large boobs and boob armor. Right? And this is just not to be permitted, right? They are going on a crusade against the big boob Muppet, right? And I was like, okay, that's funny, right? These guys, they're going after this show, that D&D, it's a multicultural cast and everything else. D&D thought, we got a winner here. They can't possibly, and who would criticize Muppets for God's sake, right? And it's like, that Muppet is offensive and representative of rape culture. So okay, now that's great. Right, that is just absolutely great, right? And then it turns out that Muppet character's name, the name of that character, the big boob Muppet, is Areola Borealis, okay? So these guys knew what they were doing, right? And the outrage has just gone through the roof from these people, and it's really funny seeing these guys, a lot of them obviously men, right? There's this one guy, what's his name? Eric Nunez? Something Nunez, anyways, who was one of the big posters. He's now blocked me on Twitter, but he had made a post in answer to D&D saying, large female boobs are puerile and gross, right? As if those are things that don't really exist, right? Like, we're not supposed to represent something that is actually real. There are really women with large breasts, right? So could you imagine this asshole going in front of a woman with naturally large breasts and say, you're gross, what is wrong with these people? What the hell is wrong with them, what kind of deficiency do they have in their very souls to think that this is something to make a major case out of? But wait, there's more. And this is where I just broke down. I was like, oh my God, right? So apparently the creator of this show is a white guy, right? But his cast of players are diverse, let's say, in that the only person he's allowed to... he's got I'm not going to go into the details of it. He's got a variety of people. And the players designed their characters. They weren't assigned characters by this guy, by the creator of Stuff of Legends. They made their characters, or they chose how their characters would be like. That's the official party line, anyways. I choose to believe it, because I think if somebody had been given Areola Borealis by this guy, they would have burned his house down by now. I'm pretty sure that it's real, that he let them design the characters as part of the process of setting up, making the Muppets and of setting up this fake D&D show, right? And the person who designed Areola Borealis is a woman, right? I was like, oh my God, right? So this is a woman who did this character. But wait, there's more. The woman in question is a woman of color, a black woman, who has a ample body size, let's say, right? She's obviously someone who is very comfortable with herself and has a fantastic sense of humor. And these assholes are going after her character and her and the show that she is in, right? Because her Muppet vaguely resembles her in some way, right? Like, has physical characteristics that are similar in some ways, but exaggerated, obviously, right? And she did it with sarcasm and for a joke, right? She's a comedian, this person. She's also somebody who I think did a bit of a boo-boo in the first episode, that she admitted that she's never played D&D in her life, right? Like, she's an actress and a comedian. They're like taking the masks off at this point, because I think they're starting to realize that a lot of the audience for these shows are people who don't play D&D and never will. But anyways, this lady, who has never played D&D before, she chose to have I think it's a dragonborn barbarian woman with large breasts, right? And to name her character, once again, Areola Borealis, which is fantastic. Like, why shouldn't that be allowed? Why shouldn't that always be allowed, right? But there were a bunch of people, mostly white men, some Latinos like Mr. Nunez, who thinks that large breasts are puerile and gross. I'd like to see him go up to this woman and tell her, your large breasts are puerile and gross. How dare you, right? The very presence of your large breasts is in some way, offensive to women. Because, women shouldn't, because any woman that has large breasts is obviously only doing that to please a man. I don't understand. I don't know what their argument is. I think their only argument is this is something that certain really weird white males might like, right? Like if there are some white males who are sexually attracted to large-breasted puppets, we can't allow that, right? That's why we have to make every character in not just movies and TV shows, every female character in movies, TV shows, in comics, in animation, and apparently in puppetry have to be made grotesque and ugly on purpose, not idealized in any way, because there's a risk that a white male might enjoy it, and we can't allow that. We have to make life a constant oppression of white males, and I think that's the logic that they're thinking. Many of these, by the way, are white males who are thinking this, right? There's this pathetic and ridiculous sense of self-loathing that they have. And it's like, really, I'm asking myself, like, I think it's funny. I think the character's name is really funny. I think the character herself, I didn't even think of the fact that she was really large-boobed at first glance, right? I thought it was just, she's a Muppet, right? And then, when I realized that this is what people were bringing up, I kind of looked, I said, yeah, okay, she's a large boob Muppet. Like, that doesn't do anything for me. I don't see what is the danger here, right? This is and the fact, but just the fact that it's a black woman who is, of a good body type, who is the one that created this character and named it and has decided what the personality is. And you have a horde of SJWs that are now trying to attack this show and attack D&D and especially attack the character that she made, because I think they assumed in their minds that it was something that was made by a white male, right? They assumed wrong, because guess what? All of their critical race theory is bullshit, right? Everything they believe is a lie. Their assumptions are going to consistently be wrong when they're operating on a theory that doesn't actually match reality, right? There's nothing real about their arguments. They want to imagine a world that doesn't exist. And so in their imaginary world, the second they saw that, they said, oh, this must have been some degenerate, evil white male who created this horrible character as a way to oppress women and to play out his fantasies of, of getting a tit job from a Muppet, I don't know. And so this is what these guys, the SJWs, think reality is. And reality turns out to be a really good humored black woman making a character that she thought would be fun and funny at the same time. Because you know what? She's normal, right? And just like most people are normal, would never think of this as a big problem, right? But it's just hilarious. I mean, it's just like, when I started hearing this, I was like, wait, stop. I can't possibly get more excited already. Like every step of this story was just becoming more and more bait for me to do a video about, like I can't believe it. It's like Christmas came twice, it's just crazy. So anyways, that's basically the story. And I'm not recommending you first off, I'm not recommending you harass anyone at all, right? So please don't go after people on my account. Second, I'm not really recommending that you watch stuff of Legends, because it's probably going to be a really stupid, fake reality TV D&D live stream show in the style of Critical Role or worse, right? But I am recommending that you post this video anywhere it'll piss off SJWs that are terribly angry. First they were terribly angry about Areola Borealis, who should she might just be the hero we need in 2021 is Areola Borealis, to be honest. They were terribly angry that she existed, and now they're terribly angry that they're being humiliated for having attacked a character created by a black woman, by a black woman of natural proportions. So this is the thing, right? Share it everywhere. Share the video everywhere you like. I'm having such a great day thanks to this. I seriously want to thank the people at Stuff of Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, and especially the wonderful, magnificent person who created Areola Borealis for giving me this truly magnificent gift. Big Chungus, herself a cat of some size, is also saying, she's also saying thanks down there if you can hear her. I don't know why, but yes. So anyways, if you like this video, please subscribe. Check out all my other videos. There's a lot of this. There's so much to comment on and so much to laugh at and sometimes so much to shout at too. But also my other playlists, which include reviews and guides about, how to play D&D properly and not the way that they've taught you wrong on purpose. And subscribe, like this video, share this video. And if you want to support me, you could just send me money by PayPal or Patreon. There's links in the description below, but there's also links in the description below to my products, like the Dark Albion and Lion and Dragon and the Old School Companion, or my brand new, not yet arrived for me in print because I'm too far away, my brand new World of the Last Sun book, which these are all medieval authentic, but World of the Last Sun is gonzo craziness in the DCC style, a place where I can tell you that Areola Borealis would fit in. She'd fit right into that campaign. Let me tell you, she'd be right there. Great character. And my RPG Pundit Presents series. If you can't afford one of my big books, even though they're not very expensive, they're all like $30 and under. If you can't afford one of those right now, but you still want to give me kind of a tip, check out my RPG Pundit Presents series. There's 103 issues. They're PDFs that range from 99 cents to $4.99 each. And they're on a huge variety of topics. Every one of them will give you something you can use in your OSR, RPG, D&D campaign. And at the same time, it's like you're buying me a coffee. So, great. But, if you don't have a cent to your name, you can still help me. Subscribe and share the video. Thank you so much, guys. Currently smoking Lorenzetti Solitario Egg plus Rattray's Black Mallory.